Rodney Myers again here, Director of the Gospel Furthering Fellowship, Independent Baptist Mission Agency in Myerstown, Pennsylvania. Lesson 2, we're going to talk about character issues which undermine a local church's investment into missions. I prepared these lessons and present them annually, usually in September, at host churches that have us come and talk and hold one-day-long pastors' forums called Table Talks, GFF Table Talks. You can visit www.gfftabletalk.com, and you could find these lessons in printable form. You could also send for a booklet like this, front cover, which reads, "When integrity means as much to you as effort, you don't mind plodding. It means walking with power." Guys were the inspiration for that booklet cover. So oftentimes, by the time a missionary reaches a local church seeking support, a pastor assumes some things about him to be true, right? First, that he's been vetted by either his home sending church, the mission board, with whom he serves, or at least those responsible for his training at home, parents, or Bible College Institute from which he received his degree. Second, a pastor assumes that the missionary has legitimately been called, equipped, and blessed, therefore, by God for the endeavor for which the missionary is now seeking partnership from that local church, from your local church. So to the second, like I mentioned before in another video, no one can know the true heart of man. Oftentimes, the missionary's clarity of speech, sincerity of heart, can be a guise for his spiritual ineptitude. So to the first, though pastors feel confident about the vetting process missionaries go through before reaching them, their church, you really should not feel that confident. It's both my experience as well as the experience of many people that sufficient vetting of missionaries is simply not taking place. What happens next is often a success story on earth, but a horror story in heaven. The horror in missions is repeatedly due to two main character issues which is prevalent in the missions world: narcissism and pragmatism. So I want you to go along with me as we talk through these ideas of narcissism, and I'm going to intertwine the understanding of the philosophy of pragmatism in light of, or the backdrop of, narcissism. What is narcissism? It's been called the secondhand smoke of our time, narcissism. You're locked into a relationship of any kind with a narcissist, you will get sick. That's the idea. You'll get sick over time because of your relationship to the smoke, your relationship to the toxicity. It could also be called the unseen nuclear fallout, which kills more people over an extended period of time than the initial drop of the nuclear bomb in whatever location. Fallout being the residual unavoidable radiation from a bomb releasing its toxins into the atmosphere after explosion. I want you to think with me about Paul's, the apostle, his PTSD brought on by abnormal circumstances and narcissistic brethren. Paul suffered from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or post-traumatic stress injury, as I think is a fairer biblical understanding of the concept. The thing is, Paul didn't see an end to his suffering. He described it in ominous, lurking phrases like pressed out of measure and to be despaired even of life. He said that his ministry in his life was a sentence of death, and it was constantly threatening to bring peril upon peril. 2 Corinthians 1, 8 through 10. So Paul's PTSD or PTSI was caused by two sources. Number one, circumstances, for example, shipwreck. Number two, people, example, false brethren. As much as shipwreck, cold, hunger, nakedness, and robbers, Paul was similarly traumatized regularly by those narcissistic brethren who had a grudge to destroy his work so as to validate their own work. Look, if you will, at 2 Corinthians 11:25 through 29. Those traumatized by a narcissist are often done so by other missionaries.